It was impossible to predict how much the movie-going experience would change over the next few months at the start of last year. The following films are among the best of the year. Passing. The film will be released on October 27 in theaters and on Netflix on November 10th. Rebecca Hall is the director. Casted by Ruth Negga, Tessa Thompson, Andre Holland, and Bill Campstar. Why you should watch. Passing and adapting their characters' internal emotions through glances and subtle shifts in tone of voice. Hall's film has a lot of style, but it's all in service of the Birdman Island. The release date is October 15th. Maya Hansen-Lv Ede is the director. Eden. Cated by Vicky Krieps, Tim Roth, Maya Wasikowska, and Anders Danielsson Lystar. Why it's fantastic. Ingmar Bergman, the legendary Swedish auteur, cast a long shadow over Maya Hansen's latest Lv's film, which asks questions about inspiration in the story of a married filmmaker couple on a retreat. Vicky Krieps and Tim Roth play Chris and Tony, two directors and screenwriters who visit Fro, where Bergman lived and made some of his most famous films. They're sleeping in the bed where parts of scenes from a marriage were filmed, as if their relationship wasn't already doomed. But Birdman Island isn't about a marriage that's falling apart. It's more about what we expect from art and artists, and how we choose to use that in our own work. While Tony is hard at work on a screenplay, Chris is looking for her next project, hoping to establish herself independently of her influences, and almost rejecting the darkness that has come to define Bergman's work. About halfway through the story, a film within a film, Chris Idea takes over, starring Maya Wasikowska as another woman who comes to this beautiful and strange location in search of something. Shiva Baby. The release date is April 3rd. Emma Seligman is the director. Played the roles of Rachel Sennott, Molly Gorton, Polly Draper, and Fred Melamed. Why it's fantastic. The chattering of Bubs becomes downright maniacal as the score's strings intensify in Emma Seligman's comedy about Shiva gone very wrong. We first meet Danielle, comedian Rachel Sennott, in the midst of sex with Max, Danny DeFerrari, her sugar daddy who takes a lecherous interest in her burgeoning legal career. The majority of the film, however, takes place at a post-funeral memorial for a distant family acquaintance, which Danielle is forced to attend with her parents, Polly Draper and Fred Melamed. It quickly becomes clear that our protagonist is not pursuing a legal career. She's a haphazard college student who made up her own major. If the agony of being bombarded with countless questions about her future wasn't bad enough, her high school ex, Molly Gordon, and surprise, Max are both guests. Geographical Jewishness is both a curse and a blessing. Seligman's camera follows Danielle as her anxiety rises and she makes a series of increasingly rash decisions. Shiva Baby, at less than 90 minutes, is both economical and a little light, but Seligman makes fascinating choices at every turn. Censor. One of the year's most captivating turns, Naim Alker plunging down a rabbit hole of gore fests and giallo lighting against the grim backdrop of 80s Britain, is at the heart of Prano Bailey beautifully constructed Bond's psychological horror debut. Enid, the film censor, is a woman on the verge of a nervous breakdown, burrowing into the trauma she never truly processed. All the while the country around her is corrupted by Thatcher-era politics, and people's fear and anger is misdirected into a moral panic over video nasty horror films. When Enid is confronted at work with a splatter film that mirrors her sister's harrowing disappearance as a child, her search for the truth finds reality and fiction blurring together, her world dissolving between Great Britain and neon-lit horror hyperreality, with bursts of violence that pervade both. It's a thrilling high-wire act that Bailey Bond navigates with vision and precision, writing a love letter to Argento and his ilk with her own authorial stamp, and a thematic preoccupation with the repercussions of trauma all her own. And that? What a year it's been for Sparks. First, Edgar Wright immortalized the male brothers, Ron and Russell. Ron has the tash in a hilarious rockumentary. Then they're complete. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing for more.